I'm upstairs in my bedroom today for this video, and I shut the door so it would be nice and quiet and private and we wouldn't be interrupted, and two little kittens just came in. They want to be in the video too. I think that's so cute. I mean, it really actually, it's like heartwarming. Like, oh my God, they want to be with me. They come and seek me out. Come up on the bed. This is a video I've been going back and forth on whether or not to do. I had intended to do it, and then I was like, nah, screw it, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, okay, I'll do it. So anyway, it's just an update. A year later, I quit my real job. You know when people say, don't quit your day job, which is their way of saying, hey, this new thing you're doing kind of sucks. Stick with that other thing where you make money. Okay, I quit my day job a year ago. And some people have been asking for an update, like, how's your budget now? And how's it going? And let's have an update. Let's do this, move. I had been working as a social worker for my state's Child Protective Service Department for almost 19 years. You know, I know I've mentioned that in several videos, and there must be one where I mention that and talk about being a CPS worker, and somebody saw that, and it's an older video, but new comment, old video, and I do read all the comments, even on the old videos. Like, sometimes people comment on old videos and say, oh, you probably don't read the comments on your older videos. Yeah, I read all the comments come up, like, they're all mixed together. Like, if it comes, you read it all. Anyway, so they left this comment like, everybody needs to unsubscribe to this CPS worker. I hate CPS workers. And I just deleted the comment, but I really wanted to respond to it. This is not what this video is about, but I wanted to respond to it and say, like, the only people who hate CPS workers are people who want to abuse children. Like, you get what CPS workers do, right? I'm not saying they're all great, but they're certainly not all bad. Anyway, that is what I did. I was a Child Protective Service worker. I was a supervisor for a long time, and I worked mostly in adoption and foster care and approving the families who would become foster parents. I tried to fix my hair before I started. It obviously didn't work. I started this YouTube channel in the summer of 2017. I was home for, I think, 5 or 6 months because my husband, Frugal Daddy, had some surgery, and so I took family medical leave or something like that to, you know, nurse him back to health, because that's how nurturing I am. Nurse Ratchet, that's me. I know, can you imagine me as a nurse? Ugh, medical stuff, bleh. When my dad was in this, like, rehab place, nursing home kind of place, where he eventually passed away, there was a nurse who was like this is so off topic. There was a nurse who was changing the bandages on his feet. I think he had a toe amputated or something. Like, it was kind of gross. And he had really bad, like, varicose veins. Like, his legs just looked nasty. I mean, he was in his 90s. I mean, you know, don't judge my dad. He's the coolest guy ever, but gross, like, legs and feet. So I was talking to the nurse, and she's like changing the bandages, and I was like, and she was asking me what I did for a living, so I was talking about, you know, Child Protective Service work. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine how you do that. I could never do that work. Oh my God, that's such important work, and working with the families and the children. And oh, I can't even imagine how you do it. And I was like, you're changing the bandages on my dad's gross, pustulous feet. I mean, how do you do it? This is the job to admire, like, a nurse in, like, a rehab nursing home with old people, like, who are all, like, you know, gross and falling apart. I was like, oh my God, I could never do what you do. Anyway, it's kind of bringing back some gross memories. I don't know why we went down that rabbit hole, but we're coming out. Come out of the rabbit hole, climb back up to the surface. Why did we get into that? Oh, because I was a CPS worker. But anyway, don't unsubscribe just because I used to be a CPS worker. I mean, like, I don't want children to be abused. I started in the summer of 2017 because Dwayne was home having had surgery. I stayed home to help take care of him and, you know, all the stuff he couldn't do. And that's when I started the YouTube channel. Have I said that yet? Summer of 2017. So then, okay, time goes by and, you know, videos, I have over 700 videos up. I mean, I put up a lot of videos. And, I pretty much thought I would be at my social work job forever and ever, especially having had the twins later in life. I was 47 when I had my twins. I had my older daughter when I was 32. And so then as like an old mom with these young kids, I thought, well, I'm never going to be able to retire. Like, I will be 95 years old at this job. I'll be the oldest state worker that ever existed, because I need an income to raise these kids and get them through college and so forth. So I never thought, I would be leaving that job, and I didn't think I would be able to retire when I was eligible to retire. And it was actually a really depressing thought to me, because it's not easy work. It's very, very stressful. And anyway, in the fall of 2018, it just kind of occurred to me one day, I don't have to do this forever. There are other ways to make money. Like, I don't have to do this. I've made my contribution, and I can do other things. And so that's when I decided to quit my job. I mean, it was kind of impulsive. I can't say it was planned out like incredibly well. I do major life things kind of impulsively, and I've always kind of been critical of myself for that. But I wonder if under the impulse, I'd like to think this now, it's a theory I'm just making up right now, but I'm liking it as it's formulating in my head. I wonder if behind the impulse, before the impulse happens, there's a whole lot of thought and calculation, and like there's a lot that goes into it subconsciously that I'm not aware of. Like, some part of my brain is really working on this issue, and so when this impulsive decision happens, it's really not this just out of the blue, ridiculous, awful decision. It's the result of all this going on in my head that I'm not necessarily aware that I'm like working through, so it seemed kind of impulsive. I gave my job 2 months notice, not just 2 weeks. I gave them plenty of notice. And, for my video last year, I had my plan of, like, I was going to have these 5 income streams and everything was going to be fine. And I was going to get to be home with my kids. That was kind of more the point, because I have young kids late in life. And that job, I just, didn't feel like I got to be home with them enough. I just didn't feel like my home life, my family life, all of this here at home was just getting the best of me. I felt like my job was getting the best of me. And for anybody I worked with who is now going like, "Hey, that was the best of you. I knew you at work. Like, that was your best." Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, it's not, I was like, it was. So just imagine the short shrift my family and home were getting. So November 2018, I quit my job and started to do the YouTube full time. And I have done budget videos in the past where I sat and went through all my numbers. I had a dry erase board. It had Elsa and Anna on it from Frozen. It was my Frozen dry erase board. And I went through all our numbers and our budgeting and all that. So people have asked since then for kind of like an update on the budgeting and how's it going, and it's going fine. The budget's the same. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks for watching. The end. Bye-bye. No, just kidding. Just kidding. The budget basically is the same. Yes, it is, in terms of our spending. I mean, our mortgage payment is the same, and our PSE&G, public service, electric and gas, that bill is basically the same. I kind of, with the electric bill, electricity and gas, I put myself kind of on my own payment plan where I basically send them $200 a month no matter what the bill is. So it tends to be less in the spring and summer and early fall, so I build up a credit. And then in the winter, when it goes up a little bit because of the need to heat the house, I have a credit, so I can still just send $200 a month. I've budgeted for $200, even though the bill might be higher than that in some of the winter months. That's how I do that bill. I really basically have very little budgeted for groceries because, of course, we get most of our groceries free, but we do buy some stuff, and it varies month to month, varies week to week. It depends a lot on what the kids might want. They might want something that we just haven't been finding in the dumpster, so I will go out and buy that. But I have just basically nothing budgeted for groceries, per se. Neve, for example, really likes tuna fish, so I like to make tuna salad for her a couple times a week, and it's very rare that I find tuna in a dumpster, canned tuna, unfortunately. I have, but it's rare. Basically, our expenses and our budgeting in terms of expenses, that's pretty much the same, except the cost of gas how much we spent on gas was a lot less because I used to have a fairly long commute to work. It was half an hour drive each way on highways. So, I'm not driving so much, so not spending so much on gas. In terms of being home is great. I don't think I could ever express how much I love being home and how much I don't miss that job. Every day when I wake up and I don't have to get ready to go off to that job, I'm so happy. And I don't want to diss that job. I mean, it's a really important job being a child protective service worker. And I'm not saying I did anything amazing. My coworkers did amazing things. Children were saved, lives were saved, families were saved. It's a really important job. I know a lot of people don't like child protective services and they have a negative view of it for whatever reason, but I always said, I wish we could be put out of business. I wish people did not abuse and neglect and sexually abuse their children and we didn't have to exist. I wish the agency didn't have to exist. So for people who hate it, not our fault. If society stops abusing children, then you wouldn't have to deal with CPS workers. By saying I'm so glad I don't have to go to that job anymore, I'm not saying, there was great stuff about that job, but it was just really stressful. And there are times I loved it. And there are times it was like so difficult and painful to drag myself into work. And that was usually when I'd gotten in trouble for doing something stupid. And I didn't really, it's always my mouth that gets me in trouble, I think. It's not so much that I did stupid things. I never, I didn't do stuff that would put a child in danger, nothing like that. I did my job well, but well, I wasn't a great supervisor. I was too nice, I think. But anyway, I'm happy not going into the job. Let me just say that. And I'm sure they're happy to have me gone. It's happiness all the way around. I think they were, I don't think anybody was crying when I left. So I like being home. I like working from home. How'd those 5 income streams work out, AIM? Well, I don't even remember what I said now, but basically my income is from YouTube. I do donate plasma, so I make a little bit of money from that. And I try to funnel all of that plasma money into the kids' college funds. That's what I'm trying to do. Yes, your mother's blood put you through college. But other than that, my income is from YouTube. And the money comes from the ads for me. And the skippable ads, if I'm going to get any money from those, they have to run for at least 30 seconds. So you don't have to watch a 7-minute ad. Though, have you seen that ad? I don't know. I know ads are regional, so everybody's not getting the same ads. Right now, when I watch videos, I'm getting a lot of ads. I wish I knew the name of the dance troupe. The Shen Yu Dancers, something like that, is this dance troupe from China. And they are amazing. Freaking amazing. They do these flips and their legs are flying and they're so bendy and flexible. So I watched that ad. I watched it all the way through because I'm probably not going to go to the theater in Philadelphia to see the Shen Yu Dancers. So I want to see the show. So I actually watched that commercial all the way through. It's a very long commercial. But I know some of the commercials are very, very long and nobody wants to watch a 7-minute commercial. But if you let the commercial run for 30 seconds, then the YouTuber gets the money for it, is what we're saying. I don't really want people to watch ads because ads make you spend your money. And I don't want you to get sucked into that and, seeing this commercial and thinking, oh, I need that product. I need that thing. I have to sign up for that master course and learn how to be a storyteller. And I need to learn about how to flip real estate. That's how I'm going to get rich. I don't want people to get sucked into these ads, but I just want them to run. Just let the ads run. You go away, get a cup of tea or go to the bathroom. And then when the ad's done, you come back. The thing about being a YouTuber, I'm not a big, huge, amazing YouTuber. I'm not like one of these children who opens toys on YouTube and makes millions and millions of dollars a year. I don't even get that. But I'm making a decent living, and I'm making it as much as I did when I worked for the state. When I first quit, I was not anywhere close to making what I made. I think when I quit my job, I was making maybe $500 a month from YouTube. So that's not even close to what I was making as a state worker after 19 years. But now I am. It's grown. It grows. You try to get it to grow, and it gets better. So since I quit, every month the income's gone up a little bit by bit. And so now I am making as much as I grossed as a state worker. Now, the thing also is that when you quit your state job, you don't have benefits anymore. And so health insurance. For example, right now I have shingles and I'm not feeling great, but I'm still going dumpster diving. Because if I don't put up a video, I don't make money. If you're basically self-employed or an hourly worker, you're not going to be getting paid sick time and paid vacations. You got to produce to make any money. There's no time off just because you have shingles. And it's okay. Like the shingles, it's okay. Like you don't all have to say, oh, I hope you feel better soon. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm spitting as I talk. That's the sign of a great Broadway actress, by the way. I don't particularly feel like going dumpster diving, but I have to. I have to. It's my job now, and I don't dive, I don't make money. So, yeah, that's one of the drawbacks of being self-employed is you don't have the paid time off, and then of course you have the whole issue of health insurance itself. When I worked for the state, I had really good health insurance, and when I started with the state in the year 2000, we didn't have to pay for our health insurance. It was just included as one of our benefits, and it was kind of like, well, you don't earn that much money, but you get good benefits. And then somewhere along the way they decided, oh, well, you earn good enough money, you're gonna have to start to pay for those health benefits. So they started deducting from our salaries for that. A lot, actually, a lot, but it was good coverage. And so, of course, you've got to deal with health insurance when you quit your job and decide to be a full-time YouTube sensation. I know, I am kidding when I say that, right? Like, that I know I'm not a sensation, so I don't need all the comments like, you're not a sensation. That's the face I like to make when I'm imitating the trolls. Anyway, yeah, but you have to deal with insurance. So, people have asked, so what is the deal? Like, how did you deal with insurance? Well, I'm paying out of pocket through the Obamacare, and I actually didn't qualify for any kind of tax kickback rebate or whatever it is they do. I'm just paying out of pocket, and it's about what I paid. It's about what they were deducting from my salary when I worked for the state for my health insurance, so it's about the same. But it's a lot. I mean, if I just paid out of pocket for doctor's visits, it would be a lot cheaper than my health insurance. But the health insurance is basically there. And I mean, I'm paying a lot, but it's basically there for catastrophic stuff. I mean, if I had a major illness or a disease that required hospitalization, I mean, me and anybody in my family, that's where the health insurance would importantly kick in. But just in terms of the routine dental visits and medical, and the health insurance doesn't cover dental for me. It does cover, I think, just routine cleanings for the kids. Sorry, I keep tipping the camera the wrong way. My shingles arm is getting tired holding this camera. But anyway, so I do have health insurance. I pay out of pocket for it. It's a lot. I remember when I was in my 20s, at one point, in between college and grad school, I didn't have insurance. So my dad was paying out of pocket for me to get New Jersey Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and he was paying $300 a month. And at the time, I mean, it was a million years ago, but it seemed like so much money. And now I'm thinking, gosh, I wish I was just paying $300 a month for our family health insurance. That would seem like, oh, such an amazing bargain. And now I'm paying many multiples of that. But I am thankful to have insurance, because you just never know when you're going to have appendicitis or some car accident or catastrophic, whatever. So there you go with that. Yes, health insurance. I am now paying out of pocket for health insurance, and you got to have it, right? That's okay. That's the way it is. But it isn't cheap, and it really makes me wish sometimes I lived in Canada or the UK or Finland or Sweden or Denmark, where I don't think you have to pay that much every month for health insurance. I don't think they do that. In terms of taxes, it's weird. Okay, it's weird with YouTube. Budgeting is a little more challenging just because you don't know exactly how much money you're going to have coming in every month. I mean, it is going to vary month to month, and you're hoping it's going to go up a little bit every month, but it could go down. Like, you just never know. So I have a certain amount of money I have to bring in to cover my bills. This much. I mean, this much money Then anything over that, well, I have to save money for taxes because I'm not having anything withheld. Google and YouTube don't withhold for taxes. You got to do that yourself. It's like, you're self-employed basically. And so I have to set aside money for taxes. And then if there's anything left over that, it's just saving. I mean, I'm saving it for retirement or in an emergency fund or for the kids' college or for a vacation, whatever the different little things I'm saving for. That's what I would do if I have money on top of what I've set aside for taxes and paying my bills. So far, so good. And I couldn't do it without you guys, obviously. We're in it together. Please don't abandon me and let my channel die. So in a nutshell, it's great. I mean, it's great. I like, oh God, I love being at home. I love working from home. I love doing YouTube. I mean, at this age, I was 54, I guess, when I quit my job, and I'm 55 now. And you wouldn't think at that age you'd be starting this whole new thing, I mean, I had my state job. I was 7 years away from retirement, I would have been able to retire, even though I didn't think I would retire at that age. I'd be eligible. But I didn't, so a lot of people thought it was really stupid that I was quitting. You don't quit 7 years. After you've put in that much time, you don't quit. People don't quit. But my kids are little, and in 7 years, when they're teenagers, are they going to want to hang out with me? I highly doubt it. I mean, my big girl, we were best buddies when she was little. I mean, we did everything together. It was just me and her on the go, like team us. And I didn't think she would ever ditch me. And then she got to be a teenager, and she ditched me, and it was really sad. And then I decided to have more kids because I liked being a mother, and I wasn't ready to give it up. So anyway, I the kids want to be with me now. They want to play with me. They want to hang out with me. They want to read with me. And so I like working from home. I like being with them. I like having this kind of whole new career. I mean, YouTube, it's very different. Making YouTube videos is very, very different from working for a state bureaucracy. And it allows one to be creative, and it's a challenge to, I mean, I sometimes feel bad because I feel like my videos, it's like the same old thing over and over and over again. Blah, dumpster food. I mean, I do think Frugal Daddy and I are delightful. I think we bring something special to the dumpster experience. I mean, some people hate our guts. Well, they don't hate Daddy. Nobody hates Daddy. Everybody loves him. I know some people hate my guts, and those people should just not watch. If you hate my guts, go away. But some of you love me, and I love you back, and you're what allows me to keep doing this. There's one challenge. The one challenge of being home all the time, which isn't bad now, but I don't know. There are moments, being home with your husband all the time when you're used to being apart at work all day. There are some challenging moments with that. Because Frugal Daddy, as much as we love him, Frugal Daddy takes a lot of naps. And I'm kind of more like, come on, we got to do this, and let's do this, and let's go here, and let's film this, and let's clean this, and let's paint that. And I'm always like, let's keep doing stuff. It's a big house. We have a lot to do. We got to do this for the girls. We got to go here. We do that. And so when your person who's supposed to be doing this stuff with you is just taking a 3 to 4 hour nap, it's sometimes I just feel like it's all on me, and it's a lot of pressure. And when he gets up from his naps, he can be super productive and awesome. So, but it's just a lot of naps. But overall, it's going really well. And I'm bringing in enough money. I mean, it'll be interesting this year doing my taxes. I always do our taxes. And it's not been that hard when you have an employer who sends you a W-2 and they have taken all this stuff out for you, all your Social Security stuff and your taxes for the state and your taxes for the federal government and FICA and all those things they deduct for, plus pension. I mean, they were deducting for my pension. I don't have that anymore, so obviously I have to save for my own retirement if I ever retire, which I'm 55 already. So it'll be interesting doing taxes. I mean, if I'm self-employed, am I supposed to be doing taxes quarterly? Is that what self-employed people do? I think that Google actually did send me a W-2. They send you some kind of form. I kind of feel like it was a W-2. They do send you something with your total income. Because usually I get money back. When I worked for an agency, I had more money withheld than was necessary. So I get a lot of money back in my refund, and that's always how I paid for my children's private school tuition. Well, I'm obviously not going to have that anymore. I will never have a refund again. It's just going to be a matter of having enough to pay the taxes. I'm Trying to think if there's anything else we need to discuss. Well, you can ask me questions, obviously, if there's stuff I missed. Mushka Baba Lupe, were you taking a nap too? Say hello to everybody. I remember when he was just a little baby and his eyes weren't even open yet. You will always be a baby to me. Okay. So I want to summarize. It's great not having to go to work. It's great being a YouTuber. It is a challenge because you want your videos to stay like interesting and relevant and not just be the same old formulaic thing over and over again. You want it to be fun. You want to entertain people. I mean, my goal is more to entertain than anything else. So if people don't find it entertaining, they shouldn't watch me. I mean, if there are people who just, whatever, you know what you want. You know what you want. And if I'm not providing the kind of dumpster diving or the kind of videos that you like, then, you don't have to watch. Oh my God, I have all this like kitten hair in my nose now. I don't know. So everything's great. I mean, it really is freaking awesome. And I'm really lucky, really, really lucky. I hope YouTube goes on forever and ever so I can keep making the videos and having this, this thing with you. And hopefully it will bring in enough money for us to survive. And we'll keep being frugal together, you and me, and all of you together, us together. And we'll all do fine. We'll all do fine. And if a recession comes, it's okay because we're going to be fine. And if you have any questions, comment below. I will do my best. If there are too many, like if there's so many questions, like that was just all over the place, Amy. You just did not get to the issues we wanted you to get to, and there's so many questions. I'll make another video to answer them. But if it's just like a question here, a question there, and I can actually just type out the answers, then I'll do it that way. So thanks for watching, everybody, yet again. I know it wasn't a dumpster diving video. It says it in the title, so sorry. Sometimes there's got to be something different. There you go. I gave up the big $80K job with the state. That might sound like a lot of money to some people, and it might sound like nothing to other people. I think in the realm of social work, $80K a year is pretty good. But I do live in a state that has an extremely high cost of living and very high taxes, very, very high property taxes, and very high car insurance. New Jersey is not a cheap state to live in. So even though it sounds like a lot of money for social work, nobody was getting rich working for the division. All right, stay frugal, everybody, until we dive again. Stay safe, stay happy, stay you, stay frugal, and stay out of jail.